Either or, you've been lying when it never went down. And then I think of all the times that I defended your name. Sometimes I still wonder what would happen if I never said a thing. Ooh. And I still don't want to meet you in the middle, 'cause that's even too far for me.
All right, thanks for coming today, Remy.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited to hear some of your songs.
Yes, I'm so excited.
You chose to start with Rainbow as your first song. Tell me a little bit about the story behind that song.
Well, rainbows are my absolute favorite thing in the whole world. As you can see, I have all my rainbow attire on today for this song, really. So ever since I was a little girl, I was just so attracted to rainbows. My whole room was decorated in rainbows, everything. And still to this day, my merch is rainbow. So I wrote this song because a lot of people associate rainbows with hope, because after like a thunderstorm, rainbows appear, and it's something beautiful and symbolic. So I wrote this song about hope.
I like to sing, so I shouldn't be smoking. I like to love, but I trust too open. I like to be weirdly outspoken. He's to himself, but we're equally broken. And I've never met someone who didn't kill the mood. Oh, I never met someone who liked me too. 'Cause another man's trash is another man's treasure. Yes, that was me. I know better now. Yeah, I figured out that after the rain comes something better. It's a good thing you can't control the weather now. Yeah, I figured out that I'm your rainbow now. I like to sing, so I shouldn't be yelling. They always made me cry till my voice was swelling. And I like to be weirdly outspoken, but he didn't care for my words. You only love seeing me hurt. And I never met someone who liked to listen. Oh, I never met someone who'd keep me from healing. 'Cause another man's trash is another man's treasure. Guess that was me. I know better now. Yeah, I figured out that after the rain comes something better. It's a good thing, can't control the weather now. Yeah, I figured out that I'm your rainbow now. I'm your rainbow now. 'cause another man's trash is another man's treasure. Guess that was me, I know better now. Yeah, I figured out that I'm your rainbow now.
Tell me about Just Stop.
So Just Stop is one of my heavier songs. When I was in middle school, I had a friend whose family was going through a domestic violence case with her family.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was the first time I'd ever even heard of something like that happening. It was the first time that I realized that the world, there's so much more evil out there that I didn't know of. It was like my innocence kind of like breaking open, and I was becoming more aware of things that could be happening around me. I was blessed to grow up in a family where that stuff didn't happen. I didn't even know that could happen. So I started writing this song because I didn't know what else to do, how to help my friend. I wanted to comfort her and let her know that she wasn't alone, and I wanted her to get the help that she really needed, and ended up having a happy ending.
Good.
And this song got in the newspaper, and we raised a little money for the women's shelter. And now I have this huge passion for like helping in any way that I can.
That's amazing. Turning your music into philanthropy is awesome. When you can do that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
this one's called Just Stop.
If you're loving the music and the stories behind the songs, please take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and bring on new amazing artists. All right, back to the show.
Just as long as you want me to be here, be near. Sure, I mess up sometimes, but I never make you feel like you're home. Just stop. You remind me of the bittersweet pain. It doesn't hurt now, but you just wait. Just like dramatic irony, except to know exactly what's happening. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. That same scene is still surprise. I'm drowning in 3 feet. I'm not safe, but I can't leave. And I don't ask that much of you, just as long as you want me to be here, be near. Sure, I mess up sometimes, but I never make you feel like you're home. Just stop. You remind me of waking up late. You want to sleep, but your thoughts can't wait. I just had an epiphany. My mind's running, but I can't speak. You remind me of cotton candy. You're so sweet, but it leaves automatically. Why can't you see that I don't ask that much of you, just as long as you want me to be near. Sure, I mess up sometimes, but I never make you feel like you're home. Just stop. Just stop. I don't ask that much of you, just as long as you want me to be here, be near. Sure, I mess up sometimes. else will never make you feel like you're wrong. Just stop. Just stop.
Let's talk about Dirty Work.
Yeah.
I love the music video for this one.
Thank you
it's
so
really
much.
cool. So tell me about the songwriting process and the meaning behind it.
This song is very touchy, very personal in my life. I remember writing this song when I was in high school, and I wrote this song about like the fear of intimacy. You know, when you're in high school, you know, emotions are flying everywhere. You know, you're a teenager, everybody's angsty. And there was a lot of, I guess, girls and boys who were, I guess, more ahead of me in their journey that way, especially in their romantic lives. And where I was much more closed off, and I was like, I kept to myself. So when this sounds so silly to talk about now that I'm an adult, because like this is like my high school relationships. But whenever I felt so different from the other girls and boys, it was hard feeling like you were so behind of everybody else and not understanding why you can't feel the same way as other people. And it's kind of crazy that even in my adult relationships now, in my last relationship, I went through it like again. So yeah, song's basically about the fear of getting too close to people.
This can't be the same person you walked on. Told your mama when I walked in, here's your daughter-in-law. If I meant that much to you, then what does it all mean? Just because I've got my own morals and boundaries, and I don't wanna meet you in the middle, 'cause that's even too far for me. Things you beg and plead for, actions I can't complete. So I get it if you want her, I get it if she's better than me. And tell her she can do the dirty work, and I'll be there to wash the sheets. And I can't be the same person you told your friends about. Either that or you've been lying when it never went down. And then I think of all the times that I defended your name. Sometimes I still wonder what would happen if I never said a thing. Ooh. And I still don't wanna meet you in the middle, 'cause that's even too far for me. Things you beg and plead for, actions I can't complete. Forget it if she's better than me. Ooh.
All right, I'm excited to hear about this next one, Sweet, because you were telling me about it a bit earlier with one of your fans that keeps requesting it at every show.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the song and what it means.
So, I grew up, and I still am, a very like bubbly, like, I don't want to spoil the song, a sweet person is the name of the song. But sometimes when we're overlooked as kind people, we can get walked on very easily and let stuff happen to us because it's okay, and just think that everything is great when sometimes it's not. And I remember the inspiration behind this song happened when my grandfather one day just randomly grabbed me and told me that I was so sweet, and he started crying. And I don't know why. It was so random.
That's awesome.
It was when
That's
I was
beautiful.
just saying it was beautiful.
Yeah.
He just started crying and he was like, "You're just so sweet." And it really like hit me. And I always took people calling me sweet as like this negative thing.
Really?
Yeah. And then recently, like after he had said that, it switched the script for me, and I was like, no, it's not a bad thing. It's very powerful to be a kind person.
It's amazing. We need to just protect those sweet people for
right.
sure. Yeah.
Sweet people need to know how to stand up for themselves
Yeah.
and to be able to have those people-pleasing barriers.
Yeah.
You have to like, I always call myself like a recovering people pleaser because I'm still trying to break some habits that I
Right.
had. Yeah, I remember my last boyfriend, when he broke up with me, the last thing he said to me was, "You're just too sweet for me."
I still wonder how you are. As for me, I'm just lost. And I wish I could be as cruel as you. Maybe then I'd be asleep and not thinking of you. And it's not that we should be, 'cause we could never be. And it's not that we should be. I just wanna see you be sweet for me. Only advice I receive baby girl, you're just too sweet. And I hope I can detach my feelings from you. If we made it this far, how much damage can we do? Ooh, and it's not that we should be, 'cause we could never be. And it's not that we should be. I just wanna see you be to me. You're sweet. That means a lot of things.
Any thoughts on putting together like an album or body of work, or what's your thought on that?
I would love to. I've
Yeah.
always, I mean, oh my gosh. But when I do my debut album, I have to like make sure it's like my best stuff.
Right.
I haven't never done like a full length album, but I have 2 EPs out.
Yeah, and I don't know what with the landscape the way it is now. It's
difficult.
it's different too. People the mindset of the album versus the single versus the EP. It's like people are so used to consuming music so quickly, so readily, and there's so many songs being put out that like people are so focused on the single. But I think there's something to be said still of like the album as like a cohesive kind of unit, not necessarily like a concept album, but like an album that has a cohesive feel with like a theme throughout. That to me is like some of the stuff that I listen to. My favorite albums are ones that like have that cohesive kind of thread all the way through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed about my generation is like we are like, I mean, I think about every generation. It's like we're diehard fans for like what we love.
Yeah.
And I think with like, TikTok and making like those like fast
8 seconds.
yes.
Of like.
But what I've noticed is all of the music discovery my generation is getting out of being online so much. So I think like, yes, it's hard to like have these full length albums and like do better unless you're like, big and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, we have this generation of people who once they find what they love, they're diehard fans
for sure.
for it.
I agree with you on that too, and I think they're definitely more in tune with, especially being a generation that's been on, growing up with the social media. They're more in tune with the BS meter. I feel like I feel like there's people they can definitely sense the authenticity a lot more from artists, and so I agree with you. I think the true ones will shine, and you're one of them. So
I really appreciate that.
Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having
It was
me.
awesome.
This is awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's great.